Well, our soybeans grew. Here, we done growing.
We're done.
We be done growing.
We got all the beans out of the field. Hey, buddy, thanks for missing the out pipe on the combine to the grain cart.
That's all we got?
Yeah, that's all that fell into the cart.
Sorry, Steve.
You win some, you lose some.
So this is farming. It was good.
Yeah.
But there were some bad things.
There were some really bad things.
I blame the weather guys.
Yeah.
August rain, right?
Hey, man, you said it was going to be a good year.
Well, we could have used some August rain. We probably could have used a little bit more June rain. There was some times.
It's a good thing we got all that rain before we planted.
Well, thankfully we had that much moisture. All right, the big question people want to know, did we make any money? How'd we do?
Yeah. So,
financially?
Not so much. If you remember, we laid out this little kind of chart of what needed to happen for us to make a couple of bucks on it. Our inputs actually were pretty good. We ended up a little under that. It's like 12.7 altogether between the rent, equipment, seed chemicals, fertilizer, and that's probably about what you pay anywhere if you're going to go do some custom farming. So, and we told Jim, hey, no friends and family discount here. We're going to do this right so we can feel the pain like a real farmer, right? But where we got hit, we got the double whammy on the income piece. So. We did not get 50 bushels an acre. Justin was hoping for 60. I thought maybe 50 would be good, and we ended up at, Bridgette, are we at liberty to say?
I think it's time.
Yeah, why not?
42
bushels.
Okay.
So we were close to 50.
So we're, okay, if you say so, Dino, if we're rounding way up really fast. And cash price right now is $12 a bushel. Back when we were planning this out in January, February, we were in the mid 14s, almost 15. So we thought, okay, let's be conservative and hopefully we'll be surprised. Well, we got a little surprise. Now, that's if we sold it today. And we've got it over with our friends at
Maple River
Grain, and they are going to hang on to it for us. We pay about $50 a month.
I'll drop these off later so we have more.
We need every one of them.
Every bean counts at this point.
And we can hang on to them for a little while. Typically this time of year, Bridgette, you're getting a lower price because everything's just coming out of the field.
Right, you're seeing a bit of a slump. The hope is that we'll start to see that trajectory go upwards as we get into the winter months.
Yep, and that is exactly what happened last year. So by the time you get to January or so, maybe we're sitting at 14 or 15 again, who knows. We will still, though, make a donation to Great Plains Food Bank for all the great work that they do. And we're going to hang on to our soybeans for a little bit and see what we can get for them as time goes on.
So this is all real life. You sit back and you say, did it work or did it not? How much money did we make or not? And then what are we going to do for dollars and cents afterwards? Are we going to be able to continue and make sure that we have operating for next year?
Yeah. And I think this is what you get, though, right? When you pay someone to do all the work for you.
Sure.
We didn't lift a finger other than Dean driving the combine one time. But we had someone do all the work for us. And
there's some grain cart work going on. I mean, there was a few things.
Yeah.
That pipe showed up out of nowhere, too. That took about 1.5 acres away from us.
So we did lose some ground, but I think Jim was able to use some of the other acres to help us with that situation.
Yes.
But that's real life, too, where
happens. Things
show up that you weren't expecting. You have easements that the landowner was aware of, but maybe you weren't, and you've got to farm around all of those items.
Right.
There's a lot of work that goes around behind the scenes that I don't think the general public really knows about. I mean, there is a lot from farm to table that goes on, and that was kind of part of the project here, is educating people on how this goes from farm to table and the process.
What did you learn right off the bat?
Just the intricacies of combining. That was my favorite part. I mean, how couldn't it be? You're like a little kid in this huge combine, and Jim's in there showing us how this actually works. And it's an incredible piece of machinery that really I can't even fathom, let's say 70 years ago, how they had to combine all their beans, their corn, whatever it is, without today's advanced equipment. Right. I mean, just incredible. Imagine the work that the farmers had to do, like, let's say Jim's dad or Jim's dad's dad, how much work. I mean, they work hard enough as it is now. I can't even fathom doing this back in the day. There's no way.
What about you, Justin?
It's hard. I think the fun part of it was just getting to watch it all go from seed to into the truck, and even to the parts that are beyond that we haven't even talked about. We're talking about going from seed to table. At this point, we're only seed to getting it to the point to where it gets turned into actual food or used as another product like our soybeans will. There's so many different products that can either get turned into, whether it's food for cattle, it's oils for synthetic uses, or even fuel from an alternative fuel source. So there's just so many different opportunities that we've been able to learn that these beans can actually be used for.
Well, and I think watching what was happening, we watched the markets more closely. We all paid attention to the weather.
Yeah.
I
actually wanted it to rain on my softball nights for once.
And going to the field and being able to say, wait, I see this as a problem or I see that as a problem, which happens every single day in farming.
Yeah.
So would y'all get into farming? Would you do something like this again?
Oh, 100%. I think the energy it brought to your show each day and every one of our morning shows, when we would have Dean on or Bridgette on, we'd be asking, how is it going to rain on our soybeans? So we did live it along with our farmer friends this year. And we really want to also, before we finish up too, make sure to say thank you to the great sponsors who made this possible. Because of their support, whatever the numbers show isn't really the true picture of what we're going to end up being able to do, and we'll still be able to make a donation to Great Plains Food Bank because of that. So very, very appreciative of them, and we got to know a lot of great people in the ag community because of that too.
Would you do beans again, or would you do something different next year?
Are we going to farm the same piece of ground? That's my first question.
Probably.
If we were farming the same piece of ground, I would want to see us rotate to a different crop.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Corn?
Corn or wheat would be my...
I'm hoping for corn.
Okay.
I really want to grow some corn.
Well, if my
and
pig
set
stays,
some new records on the yield.
If my pig stays out there any longer, we'll just have a great big ham to harvest. Because I still haven't found my pig.
Somebody said bacon.
Oh, what a day.
Nice. Well, yeah, Jim will, if Jim wants to put up with us rascals again next summer, obviously the farmer who is running that land is going to tell you what you're going to do. But yeah, we've got enough farm friends. I bet we could find a 20-acre plot for some corn somewhere.
We might find something different to do next year, and that would work out.
Sugar
great.
beets.
Sugar beets?
Oh, now wouldn't that be fun?
We're going to need to talk about that. There's a lot more that we're going to have to do.
We're up for the challenge.
We could give that one a try.
So, Bridgette, we haven't made money yet with our soybeans, but there are some great sponsors that really helped us with this project along the way, too.
We had help from wonderful people. First of all, Ellingson Drainage, Peterson Farm Seed, Envita from AB Seeds in Averill, Minnesota, Titan Machinery, Dacotah Bank, as well as North Dakota State Services, Ihry Insurance, Steffes Group, Gowan Company, and Red Wing Shoes.
Yeah, we really appreciate those folks for doing this and making that all possible. We also have a surprise waiting. We have a project we're going to be doing here this winter to help bring those lessons of how food really gets onto people's tables to second grade classrooms around the region, and maybe some first and third grade classrooms as well. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube pages as we continue to put more great content out there in the Here We Grow project as we transition out of the fall and into the winter.
Hey, let's go. We got to go to the bank. I sold all the beans.
Oh,
Oh,
never
hey,
mind,
Steve.
Steve. We'll be good.
There might be rules against that, I'm not sure.